Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Giggity. Real name is Mark. In today's video, we are going to be yapping for most likely an hour straight, probably. I have no idea. It's going to be a long video. It's going to be a long one. I want to make more videos like this in the future, though, and actually get inside the community and, pause, but actually get into the community and actually just, talk to you guys normally, like how some other YouTubers talk to you guys, rather than just make ranking videos, stuff like that. And obviously right now, there is a lot, and I mean a lot, going on with Call of Duty versus Battlefield. It is huge in the gaming space right now, at least for the first-person shooters. It's quite literally the biggest topic as of right now. It is massive what is going on between these two games, and I wanted to talk about my complete thoughts, every single part of it, we're going to address everything that I can possibly think of off the top of my head in today's video, and so it's going to be extremely long. Let's first go over the disclaimers. At the end of the day, this video is going to be extremely negative in nature. There's not really that much of a structure. I pretty much just wrote out all my thoughts on a page here, and I'm just going to read them off all at once, pretty much, hopefully trying to go in a kind of structured order, but not really. It's not going to be, there's no structure really, just kind of a ramble. It's going to be kind of negative, like I said, and there most likely is going to be some swears in it, even though I try my best not to let any slip out when I'm recording my videos, because I want to stay, family friendly. Shout out Nick A30. But I'm extremely passionate about this topic. For those who don't know, I've been playing Call of Duty since Black Ops 1. I love Call of Duty, and it's the first time in my entire Call of Duty history where I genuinely think Call of Duty is in a very, very scary state for them, to say the least. Obviously, we'll get into that in today's video, but I think this is, people always kind of say, oh, Call of Duty can't die, it's too big. They said that about Rome, man. They say that about a lot of things, and then they do. There's always potential for things to die out that are humongous, and right now, I honestly think it's scary. It is a scary situation for Call of Duty developers to be in right now. And so yeah, I'm going to get extremely passionate about this and probably start getting mad during the video, and it's going to be negative. So if you're not ready for that, if you're not ready to ruin your day, dude, no hard feelings from me whatsoever. Click off this video right now. Go watch a nice happy video. Go watch some SpongeBob, man. I love some SpongeBob, and I'm feeling down to the dumps. I watch SpongeBob. It makes me laugh, makes me happy. Family Guy, even. Just go watch something else, man, if you're not ready to get your mood dumped on, because this is going to be a negative video, and I just want to warn everybody about that. But at the end of the day, I want to make this abundantly clear right now at the very beginning of this video, before we actually get into the video and actually all the negative stuff, I will still be playing both Call of Duty Black Ops 7 and Battlefield 6. I think most people that are mad about it most likely will too, and before you say, well, that kind of invalidates you getting mad about it, no. The reason why everybody is so mad is because we want to see Call of Duty be great again. That's all there is to it. We see what they're doing wrong, and we're trying to tell them as a community that plays the game, listen to us, and it might just work. Every time in the past Call of Duty has listened to us, it's worked. We didn't like supply drops. They got rid of it in Modern Warfare 2019, what was one of the best CODs of all time to most people. Modern Warfare 2019. If they just listened to us, they most of the time we're pretty right, especially if it's something as big as the topics we're going to get into today. When it comes to more divisive things like gunplay, for example, some people like the fact that guns nowadays have little to no recoil. Some people want it back to Black Ops 1 days, where guns had recoil and you actually had to control it. That's something extremely divisive, and you can't really just make an opinion off of that. But when it comes to something as one-sided as something like skill-based matchmaking, which we'll get into today, don't you worry, that's when it gets to the point where it's yeah, you might want to start listening to your community because they're right. But I just wanted to get all those disclaimers out of the way. Already 4 minutes into the video. Like I said, man, my ADHD is going to be going crazy today. Get ready, strap in, get some popcorn or whatever. For the background clips, by the way, it's just going to be a mixture of Battlefield 6 and Black Ops 7 gameplay, but also literally the most random games. So there's going to be Skate gameplay in there because I've been playing Skate lately and I think it's fun. There's going to be all kinds of gameplay in today's video because it's going to be a long video, and I was like, I don't want them to just be watching Battlefield 6 and Black Ops 7 gameplay. I feel like that's kind of boring, so probably every 10 minutes or so we'll change it up to some other random game that I'm enjoying at the time, and we'll switch it to that. All right, I hope that's fine. I don't really know what to put for the background clips, so either way, I did split this up in little parts. So the first thing we're going to go over is the history of Call of Duty in its rivalries, pretty much, in its competition, and then we'll get into the current state of Call of Duty versus Black Ops 7 versus Battlefield 6, and then we'll go over the reasons why I think it's very obvious that Call of Duty is losing the battle and that they're scared, because there's debate online between whether or not Black Ops 7 or Battlefield 6 is winning right now, I think we'll get into this a little bit in the video, but I think it's an almost blatantly obvious no-brainer whatsoever that Battlefield 6 is winning. Like, it's not even close right now. Battlefield 6 is clearly winning this battle as of right now, but we'll get into that again in the video. So we're going to talk about why I think Call of Duty is scared and the reasons why, and then after that is the big one, and that is what needs to happen next. Everything else about like what they need to do, in my personal opinion, to save their franchise and what needs to just pretty much happen, and that'll be the layout. So without further ado, let's get right into it now with the history of Call of Duty and their rivalries. It all started, obviously Call of Duty has had rivalries since the dawn of time, but the first big one that I can really think of that people were like, whoa, this is something can potentially change here, the tones could shift and people could start, Battlefield could become a household name, and Call of Duty could fall off for the back burner, was Infinite Warfare versus Battlefield 1. At the time, it was almost a direct like comparison to what's going on now, but luckily gaming wasn't as big back then, so they didn't make as many headlines and stuff. Well, gaming's huge now, and Call of Duty is obviously massive, and I think it's completely different. But back then, Infinite Warfare was getting dislike bombed, every comment was people bashing on the game, and Battlefield 1 at the time was getting praised. Everybody was praying on the game and loving the game. It was looking bad for Infinite Warfare and Call of Duty, but then they came out with a bundle with Infinite Warfare, which literally saved them. They need to thank their stars that they decided to do this. Modern Warfare Remastered. That saved Call of Duty. If it wasn't for that game, I genuinely think that would have been a pretty big downfall for Call of Duty, and they would have been in a really rough ship, because almost immediately after that, in 2017, at the launch of Call of Duty World War II, there was another game that was on everybody's minds over World War II, Fortnite. So if they had lost to Battlefield 1 versus Infinite Warfare there, they would have also lost to Fortnite for the following 2 whole years, because Fortnite absolutely reigned supreme in both 2017 and 2018, and even a little bit of 2019. And so World War II and Black Ops 4 are some of the most forgettable Call of Duties of all time, and not because they're bad. I think World War II is top 5 Call of Duties ever made, period. As somebody who's played every single one pretty significantly, I think World War II is incredible, but Fortnite was just on everyone's mind. As a matter of fact, I hate battle royales, for those who don't know. I've never been a battle royale guy. I understand the premise behind them. It's just not my style. I like just regular 6v6 multiplayers and stuff like that. I hate them. I never liked Apex Legends. I never liked Warzone. I never liked PUBG. I'm not excited at all for the Battlefield battle royale. I know that's blasphemy to say. I don't care. I'd rather play Conquest. I'm more excited for Conquest way over battle royale for Battlefield. And I loved Fortnite. That's the only battle royale I've ever played in my entire life where I actually sunk hours into it and was happy. That game broke the internet. There was no game that could compete with it. It was one of the very first ever times in gaming history, in my personal opinion, where video games were seen as just like, yeah, this is fine. Like, this is cool. This is actually a cool thing. You're not a nerd now anymore for liking this. Like, there was people that were posting their freaking Fortnite wins on their Snapchat stories at the time, because it was like a flex. Like, it was so cool. Everybody was loving Fortnite at the time. It destroyed Call of Duty from 2017 to 2018. Again, World War II and Black Ops 4, you mentioned that to some casual player, they're not even going to know that those games existed. I guarantee it. Like, yeah, we know it in the Call of Duty space, but they don't. Luckily for them, though, in 2019, they decided to come out with Modern Warfare 2019 and completely change their engine and make a completely different game, but while also introducing Warzone. Warzone had the added bonus of loadouts, meaning you could pretty much always get a gold scar if you wanted to, but with the Battle Royale mode. And at that point, I think people were starting to get, not fed up, but just like bored of Fortnite. You know, the premise, the wow factor, the honeymoon phase wore off, and people were like ready to move on to the next thing. And luckily, Call of Duty struck at the perfect time and brought back some of their players. I don't think they like stole Fortnite players, but I do think they brought back some of the players that went from Call of Duty to Fortnite back to Call of Duty, if that makes any sense. And so they're very lucky. And now here we are in 2025. For the next pretty much 5 years actually, Call of Duty didn't really have any major competition. Games like X-Defiant came out, sure, but it was never going to beat Call of Duty, unfortunately. Apex Legends, same thing. There was never any true first-person shooter where it was like, wow, this is a direct competitor to Call of Duty that Call of Duty needs to worry about. As a matter of fact, I think the most scared they should have been in recent history is when Jinxie rose to fame in the Rainbow Six Siege space. I think that was the most scared that they should have been recently, and obviously that's a game that has been out for 10 years at this point. They weren't worried about that. And so here we are in 2025. They haven't made any serious changes, and their player base has been absolutely fed up with Call of Duty for the past 5 years, and we have been praying that they finally change something and give us something that we want, and they just don't listen. And because they don't listen, we are now at the current state of Battlefield 6 versus Black Ops 7. And here is the next part. Again, that's all the history, and now we're going to get into the current state of the Call of Duty versus Battlefield 6 drama. And this is where it's going to start to get just like rambly and just like random facts I'm just going to like point out. I literally just have bullet points. They're not in any particular order, but I'm going to try my best, I guess, to like make it into good playing things. But here's what's going on currently with the current state of Call of Duty versus Battlefield 6. By the way, I'm gonna mess up on that so much because I have it abbreviated to BF6 in my notes, and every time I see that, it reminds me of BO6, and so I always like almost say Black Ops, but just beware. Right now, Battlefield 6 has had, this is the biggest thing that the Battlefield defenders always like to point out in response to who is winning the fight right now, is Battlefield 6 has had 500,000 Steam players in 24 hours at their current all-time high, and Call of Duty Black Ops 7 has had 99,000 all-time high players in 24 hours, whatever, on Steam. I want to make that very clear. Now, they did want to wait a little bit. People waited until Sunday when Black Ops 7 went open beta, because the Battlefield 6 numbers were for open beta. Well, now that it is open beta, Call of Duty has reached an all-time high of 99,000 in 24 hours. So 99,000 versus 500,000 on Steam. At first glance, that obviously screams, oh my god, they're losing. But it might not be as drastic of a difference as it seems. Yes, they're both on Steam, and yes, it sounds like they're both open beta, and so yes, it sounds like a good comparison to make, but a lot of people are saying that Call of Duty players on PC mainly use Battle.net to launch Call of Duty. And so, since they do that, the numbers on Steam aren't super accurate for PC players. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be the first, I don't think anybody's really said this yet, but I'm going to say it, and I don't care what anybody says, I know I'm right here. I don't care that Battle.net is where the majority of PC players are. They're not making up 400,000 players on Battle.net. That's not happening, okay? So, yes, there's definitely more than just 100K in 24 hours on PC, but it's not a 400,000 difference. I guarantee you that. There's not 400,000 people playing on Battle.net if only 100,000 are playing on Steam. It's just not happening. I'm sorry, okay? And also, there's this other argument I've seen be made in this debate, which is probably one of the dumbest things in the entire argument so far, and that is that, well, Call of Duty has the vast majority of players play on console for Call of Duty. Yeah, that's Battlefield 2, buddy. All right, like Battlefield 4, if you go back and play Battlefield 4 on PC right now, there's maybe 3 to 5 servers you can find where they're like populated enough to have a fun time. Battlefield 4 on Xbox, PlayStation, whatever it is right now, at least 20 servers that are pretty full, and you can go and have a good time. So yeah, Battlefield easily has more players on console as well, just like Call of Duty does. So that's a dumb argument to be made. The next little point I want to make here as to what's going on with the current state is that Battlefield 6's Twitch viewer numbers or whatever, were 2 to 3 times higher than Call of Duty Black Ops 7's Twitch numbers at any given point. One argument I saw to this, which is, again, extremely stupid, is, well, Battlefield 6, when it was during its closed beta, were giving out beta keys if you watched a streamer for an hour. Yeah, buddy, that also happened for Call of Duty Black Ops 7. That exact same thing, like, literally the exact same thing. If you watched a streamer for an hour, I don't remember when it was, but it was during some time where, like, players were like given early access or whatever. If you were watching a streamer for an hour, maybe it was during the COD Next event, I don't know, but if you watched them for an hour, you got a beta key. So the Twitch numbers should have, if what you're saying is true, and that's the reason why Battlefield 6's viewers were so much higher, that should have boosted Black Ops 7's viewers as well, because it's literally the exact same premise, but it didn't. So no, that's not a good argument to be made. The next point I want to make as to what's going on right now is any YouTube channel that plays all kinds of games, because obviously if you look at a Call of Duty YouTube channel, their views are going to be higher in their Call of Duty videos and Battlefield videos, and vice versa. So any YouTube channel that doesn't just restrict themselves to playing one game or has a main game, and that plays all games and has made a video on both Call of Duty and Battlefield 6, you can clearly tell what the audience is more interested in. The perfect example for me, just because I watch this guy a lot, I use his background clips a lot. As a matter of fact, I'll probably use his background clips for this video, so huge shout out to him. Actually, go give him some love. Is United G. I watch United G all the time. I love his videos. It's just no commentary, fun gameplay of new games that come out, whatever. United G right now currently has 7,000 views on his Black Ops 7 multiplayer video and 230,000 on his Battlefield 6 multiplayer video. Obviously a massive discrepancy there. Now, at first glance, it seems that way, but to be fair, obviously, Black Ops 7 has only been out for 4 days, so keep that in mind. His video has only been live for 4 days, whereas Battlefield 6's video on his channel has been out for, I think, 2 months now. But I don't think they're making up that number. The way YouTube works and the way hype works just pretty much proves that within the first 2 days is when you're going to get the majority of your views, and after that it starts to go slower, and so I don't think that's going to happen. Next thing is that every single Call of Duty post or video right now is met with criticism. Every one of them. Every single Call of Duty YouTube video, Call of Duty Twitter post, whatever it may be, if you look at the comments, the most liked comments are always people saying things like, see you guys on Battlefield, or are you going to deal with the cheater problem, blah blah blah. Like all this just hate. It's never support. Not a single one of their like most liked comments are people being like, yeah, this looks fun. Battlefield 6, complete opposite. Everybody is excited. Everybody's like, this looks awesome, I can't wait to play it. The next thing is that my car guy friends, I put this in my notes as car guy friends, but I realize now that you guys aren't going to know what that means, so I'll explain it real quick. I have like two groups of friends. I have my groups of friends from high school that are just like my regular friends, and I play video games with them pretty frequently. Probably like every other day we'll play for like 2 hours pretty casually, you know. But then I have another group of friends that are into cars, because for those who don't know, I'm extremely into cars. I have another channel that's my main channel, actually, with 124,000 subscribers, where I talk about cars. I love cars. And so I go hang out with those guys all the time, and we just do typical car guy stuff down there, you know, work on our cars, take pictures of our cars, drive our cars, just do car things, molest our cars, whatever it may be. And those guys haven't touched video games in a year and a half. Pretty much all of them haven't. I mean, one of them does still play, but the majority of them haven't touched video games in literally a year and a half. They're booting back up their PCs, quite literally dusting their PCs off, coming out of retirement just to play Battlefield 6. I didn't tell them to. I did not tell them to at all. As a matter of fact, they told me about Battlefield 6. This was like way before I even knew it was like coming out. They told me about it and were excited about it. As a matter of fact, me and my other friends, the ones that I just told you about from high school, that we play pretty much every night right now, we already have planned to stay up for midnight release for Battlefield 6. It's on a Thursday for us, okay? They have work the next day, and we're going to stay up for midnight release. That is something that they haven't done since probably high school, and I personally, which by the way, I do YouTube for a living, okay? So I don't have any responsibility. I don't got to wake up at 6 a.m. I personally haven't done that. I haven't like been so excited to play a game at midnight release since Forza Horizon 5, which I think came out in 2020. So like, we don't do that anymore. I'm getting to the age where I just don't do that. I don't get that excited for video games, and we're doing that for Battlefield 6. And I think a lot of people are kind of in the same boat as us. Like, maybe, yeah, it's just me and my group of friends around where I live. Maybe, I don't know. But I don't think it is. I think there's a lot of people that are probably in the same boat. Also, there's another thing that is just, like, not going well right now to show that, like, Battlefield 6 is losing, or Battlefield 6 is winning, my bad, is that streamers right now are being paid, clearly being paid, to, like, glaze Call of Duty, which happens all the time. That's not something that's new, and honestly, it makes sense for the streamers, from a business point, to do something like that, dude. They're just trying to live and make some money. Like, you can't freaking blame them for that. But they are doing it. They're being paid to glaze Call of Duty. It's very, very obvious that it's happening, which is doing the opposite of what Call of Duty wanted it to do, which is make the player base excited. It's making them more mad, because we're not stupid. I don't understand why, like, Call of Duty thinks their player base is so dumb when we're not. We see what's going on in Call of Duty, and we can very clearly see that that's happening, and it's making us extremely upset, because it's making us look like you think we're like children that can just be like lied to about Santa Claus. Like, that's not working the way you want it to work, Call of Duty. So stop doing that. You're wasting money and assets on streamers when you could be making the anti-cheat better. The next thing that I think a lot of people are thinking about with the BF6 versus Black Ops 7 is that if Call of Duty does lose to Battlefield 6, which as of right now is happening, we'll get into more about like what I think is going to happen again in the following things. But if it does happen, and if Call of Duty does lose to Battlefield 6, which again currently is happening, do not let them lie to you. I know there are people out there that actually believe Black Ops 7 is standing up right now to themselves and making a fighting chance, which is not happening. They are destroying them right now. It's very obvious. Then I honestly don't think next year is going to be any better due to Grand Theft Auto 6 and its inevitable delay. Everybody knows that Rockstar Games likes to delay their games. They give us a date that they come out and then they delay them. Well, right now the date that they're coming out in is May of 2026. GTA 6 is going to come out. If they delay that to November or October, it doesn't matter if you release Minecraft 2. It doesn't matter if you release Rainbow Six Siege 2, Rocket League 2, friggin' Elden Ring 2. It doesn't matter if it's the biggest game of all time. GTA 6 is going to beat you. Every game company knows that, including Rockstar. They can release their game whenever they want. If they have any form of a slight competition that might hurt them in any way whatsoever, Call of Duty, they might just be like, okay, we're delaying our game to November just to kill Call of Duty immediately and just get them out of the way. And if they decide to do that, if Rockstar Games decides to do that, Call of Duty, it doesn't matter if you make Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, Black Ops 2 Remastered, Remastered, Black Ops 1 Remastered, Modern Warfare 3 Remastered, World at War Remastered, and the new Modern Warfare 4 all in one package for $10, you lost. And there's just nothing you can do about it. GTA 6 will destroy any game that it gets put up against. And so if that happens next year, you lost 2 years in a row if Battlefield 6 beats you this year. You need to think about that, and you need to really think about that. You better pray that Rockstar, for the first time in a very long time, doesn't delay their game and actually does release it in May. Because even if it does get released in May, it's still going to be a hard task for you to get players to get off of GTA Online and come over to your game, even 6 months later after the launch of GTA 6. That's scary, and I would be shaking in me boots if I were you right now, Call of Duty. And then this is just a random thing. I didn't really know where to put this. I didn't know if I should put it in the current state, in the proof that Call of Duty is scared, in the what needs to happen next thing. So I just wanted to bring this up because it's something that I keep seeing people talk about on like Twitter and stuff. And this argument about SBMM actually, that people that defend SBMM say the reason why people want SBMM removed or lightened or whatever it may be is because they just want to beat up on noobs and not get any better. I just wanted to address this really quick, because again, I keep saying this, and as you guys know, I'm an SBMM hater. I don't like it. I think it needs to be massively reduced, and I think the open mosh pit is perfect. I think that's exactly what they need to do, but across the entire game for casual modes, I think it's great. Because there is still matchmaking, it's skill-based matchmaking there, it's just much, much, much smaller, just like classic CODs. That saying, though, you just want to beat up on noobs and not get any better, is not true in the slightest bit. Most of these guys that are complaining about SBMM, which is a lot of people, obviously, just want to relax after work. Dude, that's all they want to do. No, they're not saying, like, yeah, I'm sure there are some that are like, oh my god, I get the pub stomp and get clips. That's not the vast majority. The vast majority are saying that they don't want SBMM because they just want to relax after work, because that's what video games are to them. They're just a way to entertain themselves after work before they go to sleep and do it all over again the next day. Alright, that's all it is. They just want to relax. I'm so sick of this excuse where it's like, no, you want to beat up on noobs. I don't know where it even came from, because that is not true. That's not me. That's not me. I just want to be able to use off-meta guns and have fun quick-scoping and still be able to go positive in a game. That's all I want to do. I don't care if I drop a freaking nuke, man. I've never dropped a nuke in my entire Call of Duty career except for an infected. Okay, I don't care about that. I just want to have some fun and relax while playing Call of Duty, not play ranked all the freaking time. And I think that's where most people are when it comes to the SBMM argument, and it's driving me nuts. And the other thing about how you just want to not get any better, that's even dumber, because I don't think I have to explain this to most people, but I guess I'll explain it to the morons. You can't see improvements anyways with SBMM in place, because no matter how much you play, no matter how much you get better, there's always a bigger fish, and Call of Duty will just put you up against those bigger fish once you become the best in the world. You could quite literally be the top 250 in the world and still have to sweat your balls off to win games because of how skill-based matchmaking works. Okay, so that's a stupid argument. We all do want to get better, obviously, at the video games that we're playing, but with SBMM in place, there's no way to prove that you're getting better. None at all. You just constantly go up against better and better players, and you just constantly get a 1 to 1.3 KD over and over and over again. And so no, that's stupid. But now let's get into the reasons why I think Call of Duty is scared, and the reasons that it, like, the proof that it is. And because again, there's a, like, that's the current state, but there are a lot of people that still for some reason think that Call of Duty is winning right now somehow, which I think is insane. So this is going to be the proof that I think that Call of Duty is clearly scared. And I want to make this abundantly clear that some of these are kind of just like word of mouth things, and you got to take the next couple of parts with a grain of salt, a massive grain of salt, as a matter of fact, because some of these are just kind of like things where it's like you can kind of see it happening, but there's no obviously like 100% proof in the pudding that it's there. And the first thing is, and this one is just proven like obvious that it's there though, is that at Call of Duty Next, the creators that were making content and streaming or whatever, every single one of them were not allowed to say the word Battlefield. There's a lot of clips going around of players playing during COD Next, and when they were about to say Battlefield, they had to say the other game instead of Battlefield. They caught themselves and wouldn't say Battlefield. It's obvious that the COD Next developers told them not to say Battlefield, which, dude, don't get me wrong, I am not saying is a bad idea at all. Obviously, from a business standpoint, yeah, you probably shouldn't have your streamers bringing up your main competitor while they're playing your next game that you're supposed to be showing off to the world. So I get why they did that, but it's just more proof that it's on their minds, that it's worrying them, and that they know that Battlefield is competition. And so I just wanted to put that out there. The next thing is, this one is odd. I don't know what happened here, and you guys are quite literally just gonna have to take my word for it. I don't have any way to prove it because, well, we'll get into it as to how I can't prove it. The other day I was playing with my friends. I'll say their names because I don't think they care. Patrick and Ethan. And Patrick said, we weren't arguing, but we were just kind of discussing on whether, because he thinks that Black Ops 7 is actually putting up a fighting chance right now against Battlefield 6, and I was like, I don't think it is. And so he said, well, look at this. I went on my PlayStation store and I saw that 5 of my friends have pre-ordered Battlefield 6 and 31 of my friends have pre-ordered Black Ops 7. And I was like, really? That's weird. Man, maybe you're right. And he goes, yeah, and guess who the first one is that pre-ordered the Black Ops 7 on my thing? And I was like, who? And he goes, your little brother. Immediately I knew that, I didn't think he was lying, but I immediately knew something was going on. And the reason why is because my little brother doesn't pre-order games. He never has. And he definitely ain't going to start with Call of Duty. As a matter of fact, the only game I think that he's ever pre-ordered in his entire life was Hollow Knight Silksong. And the only reason why he pre-ordered that is because he loved Hollow Knight, the first Hollow Knight, so much and played it probably like 10 times. And so he was like, okay, I'm going to pre-order it. And so I was like, that's not true at all. He doesn't do that. Can you send me a picture or something? And he was like, yeah. And the reason why, this is where I get to the point where it's like, I can't prove this to you because I'm not going to show my brother's name. Obviously, I don't want to dox my own little brother. And if I showed you his gamer tag, there's no real proof. You know what I mean? If I showed you his gamer tag, you're just going to be like, how do I know that's your brother? So there's no real way for me to prove this to you. But my friend did send me a picture, and sure enough, it did say he pre-ordered Black Ops 7, which wasn't true. And I knew it wasn't true. But just to be sure, of course, I went and asked him. And I was like, did you pre-order Black Ops 7? And he was like, no, you know I don't pre-order stuff. And I was like, that's what I said. That's what I said. I know you don't pre-order stuff. What is going on there? I don't know. I doubt this is what's happening, but I really hope Call of Duty isn't like paying Sony or something to artificially make it seem like your friends are pre-ordering Black Ops 7 to make players have like FOMO. I really, from the bottom of my heart, pray to God that that's not what's going on. And I pray that maybe we misread it or something. We're not that great with technology. Maybe because since again it's all in the Call of Duty HQ, maybe since he's played Black Ops 6 before, it was like some weird glitch on Sony's end that made it look like he pre-ordered Black Ops 7 even though he didn't. He was just playing Black Ops 6. I don't know, maybe something else was at play there, but based off the picture alone, it did look like it said that he pre-ordered Black Ops 7, which was not true at all. It just wasn't. And so I don't know what's going on there. It's just something weird. And if it's actually happening, and if it's happening to other people, I don't know, check your friends list, man. And if there are people that you know don't pre-order stuff, ask them if they pre-ordered it. And if they say no and it says it's on there, something fishy's going on. I think it's something that we need to talk about more. I really hope it's just a weird glitch that happened with his account, but I don't know. I mean, I saw it myself. I know it's true. You don't have to take my word for this at all. I don't really, it is what it is. Honestly, man, I wouldn't take my word for this. You know what I mean? I wouldn't trust me here either. I'm just some random guy on the internet that clearly it wants Battlefield 6 to win here. You know, I'm obviously on Team Battlefield, so obviously people will say whatever they want to say to make it seem like they're winning their argument. You know what I mean? But I guess you just got to take my word for it, man. That truly happened. So I think it's weird. And the next reason why I think there's proof that Call of Duty is scared is the open mosh pit. Call of Duty finally, for those who don't know, gave us no skill-based matchmaking, something we've been asking for quite literally 6 years, and they gave it to us in the beta. And they've actually been listening to feedback in the beta. The time to kill has been changed. The doors have been changed. The weapon XP that you get for getting kills has been changed. They've given us search and destroy in a freaking beta, which hasn't happened since Black Ops 3, I'm pretty sure. And they finally gave us no skill-based matchmaking, something we've been begging for, pretty much the forerunner for things that we want to be changed on Call of Duty for 6 years straight. And they finally listened and gave us that in Black Ops 7's open beta. You're not doing that unless you're worried, okay? They've been doing it for 6 years, and if they were actually listening to community feedback, they would have done that 6 years ago, and they don't. It's just that for 6 years straight, they haven't had any major competition. Battlefield 6 is scaring the crap out of them, and so that's why they gave us no SBMM. The next thing that, like, you can kind of tell that Call of Duty isn't scared is the anti-cheat system itself. This is 110 billion% conspiracy theory territory, so do not take anything I say here as 100% fact, because it's not. It is not fact at all. It's just my opinions on a complete conspiracy theory. I just want to make that abundantly clear before people go around saying this like it is fact. It is not at all, okay? Do not take this out of context. But in my opinion, man, a lot of people like to talk about cheaters in Call of Duty, and obviously it is a problem. And for some reason, they seem to not be able to get a hold on the cheaters in COD. I think the reason as to why they're not putting a hold on cheaters in Call of Duty is much more nefarious than people think. I think the reason, and again, this is conspiracy theory, but I honestly think the reason why Call of Duty isn't banning cheaters right now is so that their player base doesn't drop any more than it already is. I think Call of Duty realizes, oh my god, 20% of our player base is cheating. If we banned all those guys, which we have the potential to do, we will lose 20% of a player base that's already dwindling like crazy. And people will be like, oh my god, your game's dead. Even more than they're already saying it. And I think they're worried. I really do. I think Rainbow Six Siege has this problem, this exact problem, and it's pretty much common knowledge in the Rainbow Six Siege headspace that they're not banning their cheaters because they know that their cheaters make up such a large portion of their game that they know if they start banning cheaters, they'll be dead. Because they know they're there. You can tell that due to something called Operation Mousetrap on Rainbow Six Siege. Operation Mousetrap was a way to catch Zim Cronus users on console for Rainbow Six Siege. But when they caught them, they didn't ban them. What they did was they put them into PC pool and made them play in there until they learned their lesson, like a timeout or something for a cheater. It was the stupidest thing ever and just made players even more mad because they were like, oh, wait a minute, so you are catching cheaters, but you don't want to ban them because you don't want your numbers to drop even more than they are, Rainbow. Is that what's going on? And sure enough, that is exactly what's going on. And I honestly think that's going on to a degree in Call of Duty as well. And I think it's something that people need to maybe talk about more, but don't 100% say it's there. You're going to sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist. And it's hopefully it's not true, you know what I mean? And maybe it's just me being an old man yelling at the clouds situation here. And I honestly hope it is, because if that's the case, man, that's just scummy. And I'm just worried that it is happening. But this one is actually something that is like, it's not this whole segment, the whole proof that Call of Duty is scared is something that I can't 100% prove on any of them. It's more just things that you kind of notice as you get older and as you get more mature and you start to understand how people work and companies work. Because this is another one where it's like you can't 100% say this is fact, so I just want to make that abundantly clear. But the reason why I think that Call of Duty is scared, and the reason you can tell that it is because Call of Duty HQ, right, they claim it's a beneficial thing for players, but it's clearly not at all. How is COD HQ beneficial in the slightest bit for players whatsoever? Oh, you don't have to launch different games from your like PC or Xbox or whatever. Dude, that takes 10 seconds. I don't mind launching different games if it means that I don't have to have a 350 gigabyte app on my Xbox. My friends who have PS5, one of them has the very first ever PS5 that came out, pretty much. That thing is like a freaking fossil at this point. He has Call of Duty, Rocket League, and Rainbow Six Siege installed, and that is absolutely it. That's all he can install. He has no more space for anything else. 3 games. And the vast majority of the reason why that is because of COD HQ. That is not beneficial for players at all. Stop letting them lie to you about that. That is not beneficial at all. All it does is boosts the numbers for investors. That is absolutely it. It just makes the numbers look better for the investors and their shareholders. That's literally it. And it is very, very sad that they're doing that, because again, for anybody that actually knows what's going on, it proves that they know their game is freaking dying. Because if their game wasn't dying, they wouldn't have to do that. And it's, again, they can tell you it's beneficial to the players as much as possible. No, it is not. Actually just sit there and think about it for literally 10 seconds and you'll realize it doesn't make a big difference at all. And if anything, it just hurts players that play on consoles that don't have terabytes of space. Okay, on PC it makes sense, I guess, because PCs, they have a bunch of RAM, but on consoles they don't. We have to buy expansion cards if we want more space, and they're not cheap, you know what I mean? And most players just don't do that. And so, no, COD HQ is not beneficial to players at all. What it's beneficial to is their shareholders, and that's the only reason why they're doing it. But that was the last thing I wanted to talk about. As for the proof, in my personal opinion, again, all that is not actually actual proof. It's just theoretical proof as to why you can kind of see that Call of Duty is getting scared. But now I need to get into the big one. Yup, that's right. We're already 35 minutes into this video, and we're just now getting to the big segment. It's actually probably going to be longer than an hour long. I don't care. But this is all the things that I think needs to happen next in order for Call of Duty to stand a chance in 2027. Because again, I think as of right now, they're most likely going to lose 2026, and it's a very good possibility. It's like a 50-50 chance that they will just not make an indent on any gaming space in 2020. I'm sorry. Right now, it looks like they're losing 2025, and as of right now, it's looking like they're not going to make a big dent in the gaming space for 2026 because of GTA 6. So, 2027. This is everything that needs to happen for Call of Duty right now and leading up to 2027. Okay, everything that I personally believe needs to happen. First of all, Battlefield. For those who don't know, obviously, like I said, I think Battlefield is winning right now, clearly, but the reason why I kept saying earlier right now and really putting emphasis on the Battlefield is winning right now is because for those who don't know, Battlefield has an extremely strong track record of just dropping the freaking ball. These dudes just do not know what they're freaking do. They come out with a new game. They come out with games and they're just like, wow, look at that. That game made us a lot of money. What do you think we should do with it next? Just not touch it. How about that? How about we just let it stay in its buggy state and don't address any of the complaints, don't give them any new content, don't give them anything to work towards or any sort of grind or whatever, and just leave it at that. That sounds like a great idea. What do you guys think? Like do you guys remember Battlefield 2042? Everyone was hyping that game up. Everyone was excited for 2042. Same with Hardline, same with Battlefield 5, same with Battlefield 1. In every single one of those Battlefields just kind of flopped except for Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 was kind of popular, but the other ones, all of them just flopped. Battlefield 5, no one cared about it. Battlefield Hardline, no one, I don't even think people remember that game exists. Battlefield 2042, not only did it flop, people are like actually mad at that game. People are actually like flipping off the developers for Battlefield 2042. And the reason why is clearly not because the base game wasn't fun, because again, the hype around those games when they were first revealed and the betas were extremely popular and extremely good, just like what we're seeing now with Battlefield 6. But after launch, they just gave up on it. They just like neglected it like Casey Anthony. They didn't care about it at all. And if they do, that's like the only thing Call of Duty has going for it right now. They better be praying to God that happens for Battlefield. They better be praying that Battlefield doesn't do some sort of content updates, which actually kind of leads me into my next thing for Battlefield purposes. Battlefield 6 needs to keep their promise right now and actually give us content updates. Right now, it's looking like they're actually listening to their player feedback from Battlefield 2042 and are going to give us what we've been asking for. They're promising a Battle Royale mode. They're promising a Search and Destroy mode. There's going to be a camo grind. They're promising, as of right now, that they're not going to go over the top of these crazy, goofy skins. SPMM is never going to be strong at all in Battlefield, hopefully. All this stuff that players don't want in the game, they're pretty much promising that it's not going to happen. Call of Duty, if they keep their promise, which again, Battlefield does have a rough track record with that, and they do tend to be lazy once the game comes out, fair enough. But if they don't, and if this year is different, and they actually listen to their community and stuff like that, yeah, you're screwed. I'm just going to put it out there, man, you're screwed. That's the only thing that's holding Battlefield back, is that they tend to just drop their game, buggy messes of a game, and then they don't fix any of the messes, and they don't give you any new content or nothing, and people just forget about it and are like, this is ridiculous, I'm not playing this anymore. That happens all the time with Battlefield, and if they do that with Battlefield 6, you're lucky, and you'll be back in the rat race. But as of right now, based off what Battlefield developers are saying, it doesn't look like that's going to happen this year, and you need to be worried. The next thing that needs to happen next is no skill-based matchmaking feedback is great right now. Okay, like no skill-based matchmaking in the open mosh pit is incredible. Every Call of Duty YouTuber, every comment, every post you see online is people glazing it and being like, oh my god, this is the most fun I've had in Call of Duty in years, which is something that we said to Call of Duty, by the way, for years now, and they just now decided to listen. Maybe start listening to your fan base there, Call of Duty, a little bit more, a little bit earlier, and then maybe you can not make a Vanguard mess of a game. But either way, right now it's doing absolutely incredible. If Call of Duty, for God knows what reason, reads the data wrong, or for some reason thinks that the data is skewed for something, and they decide to take it out, yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, Call of Duty, even if Battlefield 6 isn't that great, people aren't going to play Black Ops 7. It's just not going to happen if you do that. Skill-based matchmaking needs to stay out. It's obvious. You don't need to look at your little numbers on a keyboard. No, you just look at the freaking community, man. Okay, we can all see it. It's right in front of our very eyes. We all see literally everybody with an online presence talking about the No SBMM playlist and how good it is. Every one of them, they're having fun on that. Whether it's a YouTuber, a commenter on YouTube, a guy just posting on Twitter or Instagram or whatever it may be, everyone's loving it. So do not take that away from us. As a matter of fact, what you need to do is make that the base for the entirety of casual. Okay, that's what needs to happen. Please, for the love of God. And this is where I just want to make it abundantly clear, guys. We are getting into the part where all these like points don't really lead into each other, so it's kind of hard to transition. So next thing that we're talking about is something completely unrelated to SPMM, but just something I wanted to bring up. And what is, like, I guess it's kind of should have been more in the what's going on right now category, but I guess we'll just talk about it now. Okay, let's just leave it at this. Yes, gaming is being much more accepted by women and children nowadays. It is a much more normal way for people to be like, oh, hey, I want to entertain myself or relax or wind down after a long day of work or school. in 2025 than it was even just 10 years ago. If you go back even 20 years though, back then it was literally looked down on as like a horrible pastime and it's like rotting your brain. 10 years ago it was more accepted, but people were still kind of like, you're wasting your time doing that, and then they would go upstairs and watch TV all day. Well, nowadays there are far and far more people that are kind of understanding like, okay, this is pretty much the exact same thing as watching TV all day. It's just a form of entertainment. And it's getting more accepted, and more women and children are getting into the gaming space. Yes, that is happening. But that does not mean that you should disregard a massive audience of men who want to see cool war shit in a war game, Call of Duty. I actually don't understand how they don't see this. Like, Battlefield 6 is getting so popular right now because Battlefield 6 developers were smart and they realized that, hey, wait a minute. The vast majority of gamers that still play video games are men at the end of the day, okay? Regular old dudes, all right? Like, yes, again, there are more women and children being introduced into the gaming headspace, don't get me wrong, but it's still obviously mainly men. And so Battlefield 6 realized that and is currently quite literally picking up your scraps, which sounds bad at first, but no, it's not, because they're getting a lot of freaking players that are fed up with the fact that you have anime skins, unicorn guns, Nicki Minaj or Beavis and Butthead crossovers, and they're sick of it. They're done. They don't want that. Yes, yes, it makes your game more, I don't know, like intrusive. No, that's not inclusive. That's the word I'm looking for. Inclusive for like those people, like the women and the children and other, I guess, people that weren't previously playing Call of Duty. But it's making the game exclusive for players that were playing Call of Duty, and you're being stupid. I don't understand how that's happening. All you need to do is stop with all that stuff and ground yourself in reality for just one single year. You lost Call of Duty to Fortnite already. Stop trying to win those players over. It is clearly not working. That game has been popular for 8 years straight, and you have been trying for 8 years straight to win Fortnite players into your game. It is not working. Stop. And you are losing your current player base in the process to try and gain players from Fortnite. The players in Fortnite do not want to play Call of Duty. They don't like the premise of it, okay? It's not because they don't like the skins that you got in the game. They don't like the camouflages that you got in the game. No, they just don't like how it plays. It's just not for them. They like Fortnite. My older sister and younger sister use Fortnite as a social tool. That's the only game they play, and they play it quite often, probably like 2 or 3 times a week. They play it just to hop on PlayStation and hop in a party and just talk about how their weeks are going. Okay? One's a 17-year-old girl, the other one's a 28-year-old girl, and they're playing Fortnite because to them, that's just a fun, casual experience, and they like it. The way it flows, the way it works is fun to them. Your game is not that way. They do not like Call of Duty, and they never will, and you need to realize that. You need to stop trying to win those players over because it's not going to happen clearly after 8 years, and try and get your player base back, because right now they're going to Battlefield 6 and it's not looking good. For an example, Call of Duty, in case you need one, Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege did the exact same thing with over-the-top skins. They have Rick and Morty in that game for God knows what reason, and crazy skins where your character has a wolf head for some reason. And guess what happened? People started leaving. Now, I know you might be thinking, no, they didn't. Rainbow Six Siege was extremely popular. Like, literally last year, it was like the most popular FPS game in the franchise. Yeah, that's because of a guy named Jinxie. That is quite literally the only reason that game got popular. That game didn't get popular again because they came out with some new content that everybody loved. Nobody cared. People were playing that game again because they felt they had FOMO because Jinxie rose to fame so freaking fast. Everybody was watching this guy because he was hilarious to people to watch. And everybody started being like, oh, wait, I want to get good at Rainbow Six Siege so I can be like Jinxie one day. That's the only reason that game wasn't dead. And as a matter of fact, now that Jinxie went over to Clash Royale, and he's playing Clash Royale now, the new season for Rainbow Six Siege came out, and their player base continued to drop. That has never happened in Rainbow Six Siege history ever before. Every time a new season comes out for Rainbow Six Siege, the player base spikes a little bit. It goes up maybe 10,000 players or whatever. This is the first time ever, literally ever, in 10 years of Rainbow Six Siege that the player base didn't spike when a new season came out. It dropped. It kept dropping. That game is dying now, and the only reason why is because Jinxie left. Let me tell you something, Call of Duty. Learn from them, because you do not have a Jinxie, alright? You do not have anybody even remotely close to a Jinxie, okay? No one's nearly as influential and as impactful to the gaming world as Jinxie is that plays Call of Duty. You have some obviously great creators, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to flame you guys, I love you guys. T-Dog Smitty, you're great. Facescope, you're great. Jev, you're great. Bams, you're great. I love all you guys, okay? And Merc Music, I love watching you guys, don't get me wrong. But you aren't, obviously, clearly you're not on the same like impactfulness level as Jinxie was, and you're not going to be, those players are not going to be able to revive your series if you kill it, is what I'm trying to say. So stop. You need to revive your series. Stop having a freaking identity crisis. Battlefield 6 is hyped up right now because it looks like war. Men want a war game. The majority of gamers are still men. The majority of gamers do not like seeing anime, Nicki Minaj, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Beavis and Butthead, American Dad skins running around in a freaking war game. Fortnite works because it's based on that cartoony, goofy stuff. They built the whole game around it. It works. It is a fun game that is... I don't like Fortnite anymore. I don't play it anymore, but I can't... I'm not going to sit here and be like, Fortnite sucks. No, it's obviously one of the best battle royales of all time. They freaking nailed it with Fortnite, and it works because of the way the game is built around it. It doesn't take itself seriously at all. You do. You have a massive identity crisis. You're not going to compete with Fortnite, and as of right now, you're not competing with Battlefield 6 anymore because you are losing your identity. Madden and 2K, those work because they're based on sports. Forza and Gran Turismo, they work because they're based on racing. UFC and Tekken and Street Fighter, whatever those games are, I don't know what they're. Mortal Kombat, those work because they're based on fighting. Okay, these games are staying in their identity. They're not going crazy and doing these stupid things that don't make any freaking sense. Okay, and it's working for them. They may not be the most popular game in the world, but there never will be. Madden will never be the most popular game in the world because football isn't the most popular game in the world. FIFA is probably the most popular sports game in the world. Why? Because soccer is one of the most popular sports games in the world. You are a war shooter at the end of the day that sometimes looks like a war shooter and then sometimes does not look like a war shooter. That is bad, and you need to stop doing that, okay? I know that was a very long point, but it's one of the biggest points, in my opinion, is the freaking skins and what they're doing with all these bundles. Players complain about it all the time, but Call of Duty never seems to really address it. Like, I don't get it. They're just fine with this, and it's like, what? Why? Remember when they said in Black Ops 6 you were going to be able to toggle custom skins on and off? Well, that never happened. I don't know what that was all about. Either way, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. Skins is a massive issue, in my opinion, and they need to address their skins. They need to ground themselves in reality again for 1 year and go back to being a military shooter if they want to win back the audience that's excited for Battlefield 6, that's excited for GTA 6. Those guys are excited because they know that what they're going to get is what they're promised, and they're looking forward to just playing a war shooter, man, and being a dude again, okay? We don't want to see this stuff. We're sick of it. We're plain and simple, we're sick of it. And that's not like a bash to anybody that likes anime or whatever. I don't mind that you like anime. Go for it, man. But I just don't want to see it in a freaking war shooter. And as a matter of fact, I don't think you do either. I guarantee. Like, dude, okay, for example, I already said go watch SpongeBob. So it's very obvious that I like SpongeBob, right? Yeah, I freaking love SpongeBob. I don't want a SpongeBob skin running around in Call of Duty, okay? I don't want that. I love American Dad, as a matter of fact. I think American Dad's, well, I don't think love it, but I think it's a good show. I enjoy the show. I did not like those skins, bro. All right, like, I did not like them. I'm a fan of things too. I don't want them in Call of Duty though. And I think that's how most players are. Like, I'm sure, yes, there are probably a lot of players that play your game that like Beavis and Butthead, but they don't want to see it in the freaking game Call of Duty. Jesus. Either way. Next thing that I think needs to happen next for Call of Duty going forward is they need to get rid of the other forms of skill-based BS. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. Yep. I am not ashamed to admit it anymore, man. I am a full-on conspiracy theorist when it comes to the other skill-based baloney in the game. Obviously, skill-based matchmaking and engagement optimized matchmaking are in the game. They've admitted that now. But I am a full-hearted believer in some form of skill-based hit registration, some form of skill-based aim assist, or skill-based damage, or something else at play. Black Ops 6 is the first COD in my 15 years of Call of Duty where I saw myself complaining about, like, how did that not kill him over and over and over again? Don't get me wrong, it's obviously happened in other Call of Duties before where you're like, wait, what? I mean, hit markers with snipers have always been a thing, you know what I mean? Like, people have always been kind of like, how did that not kill him? You know? But Black Ops 6, I mean, it happens literally every game, and you can feel it happening to you mid-game. You can go, if you go like 12-0 in the start of a game, and you're like, okay, this is a bot lobby, I'm popping off right now. Then somehow after that, you immediately go from 12-0 to 14-13, and you're like, wait, what? How is that even possible? I mean, I just got 12 kills in a row, and now I got 2 kills in the next 13 lives? That doesn't make any sense, and that happens. That happens a lot. They literally nerf you. Not just your skill base, your matchmaking. No, that's not it. There's something else at play. I fully believe it's there. I'm a full-hearted tin aluminum foil whatever hat on my head conspiracy theorist when it comes to that. I believe in it because I've been playing the game for so freaking long. I've gotten to I've prestiged in every single COD since 2010. I love Call of Duty. I've played them. I know what it feels like to play Call of Duty. And this is the first one where there's so many times where I'm shooting somebody and I stop shooting them because they should be dead, and then I die to them because I'm like, wait, whoa, how? There's so many clips of it online. It's obvious in my personal opinion, and I think a lot of other players are seeing it, and you need to get rid of that. That clearly did not work. Everybody hates Black Ops 6. Okay, that game was not popular at all. Almost everyone was bashing on it, and I think the reason why is because they know that that's in there. Next thing you need to do is stop withholding content. You clearly just cannot afford to do that anymore. I understand why you withhold content for things like season drops or whatever it may be. That's understandable. But whenever you come out with something new, just release it. All right, release it. Don't be like, hey guys, we're gonna drop it in a week and it's gonna be one new gun. No, you don't. You cannot afford to tease people like that. You need to be like, hey guys, we're dropping 5 guns in like 2 days. Come back to our game, please, because you need to just start banging out content left, right, and center, because you need to get them back somehow. And I think that's a slight way of doing it. Next thing you need to do is make zombies something worth talking about again. Zombies is just, I made this in all the pros and cons to Black Ops 6 zombies video that I made. If you haven't watched that, it's another like 50-minute long video. Go give that one a watch if you are literally doing nothing with the rest of your night, because I like to ramble. But yeah, I talked about this a lot in that video, so I won't go into too much detail with it. But right now, zombies is just, God, it's boring. Dude, it's so freaking boring. Me and my friends played Black Ops 7 zombies in the beta and gave it a try. Game 1, we reached round 20 with absolutely no difficulty whatsoever. It took no stress. We were actually, as a matter of fact, I think while we were playing it, we were talking about how bored we are playing the game. I'm pretty sure we were. Yeah, no, we definitely were, because one of them hasn't bought it yet. They just got the free open beta or whatever, and they haven't bought the game yet. And he was literally saying like, yeah, I don't think this is selling me on the game so far. And I was like, yeah, this is freaking boring. We got to round 20. We exfilled successfully. No real major issues. That's just dumb. Dude. I've mentioned this in the zombie video again, so if you want to hear me go into way more detail with it, go watch that video. But back in the day, the reason why Origins, Mob of the Dead, Shadows of Evil, The Rise and Drak are looked at as some of the best COD Zombies maps of all time is because they felt rewarding since they were hard. Okay, you cannot reach round 20 easily on your very first attempt of a map while just casually discussing how the game sucks. Okay, like that just didn't happen back then, but you can now. And it's not because we're getting better at the game. No, anybody can do that. There are people complaining about how, oh man, I can't get past round 50 with red guns anymore on Black Ops 7. You have conditioned your players to think that that's normal. Dude, spoiler alert for new players, that's a good thing. Not getting past round 50 with a red gun that's how it should be, okay? But players think it shouldn't be that way because you have made it so freaking easy now. Go back and make it hard again. All right, for the love of God. Next thing is that you need to do, get rid of AI art. You are a multi-billion, that's a B by the way, billion-dollar company. If you can't hire artists from freaking Fiverr, for gosh sakes, with billions of dollars, then don't even bother making art for the game, man. Just don't do it, because we can see the Santa thing was the obvious one that really pointed it out to us. That is ridiculous, man. That is unbelievably ridiculous. We give you so much freaking money, man. We give you so much. We make you billionaires, okay? Billionaires. And you can't cough up a little bit of your change just to at least give, like, another, like, actual genuine art that's not going to have 6 fingers? Really? That's just scummy. Get rid of your AI art. That's not working. That is not working at all. Next thing, this is just something that like doesn't really need to happen, but something that you need to realize and get into your brain, Call of Duty. Having one guy buy a Ninja Turtle for $20, maybe at first it worked in Modern Warfare 2019 and Black Ops Cold War, but nowadays it is clearly not worth the 10 or 20 even potential customers that you just lost. Here's an argument that a lot of people like to make, and that is that what Call of Duty is trying to appeal to is children, because children spend money. I think I'm the only person in the entire world that disagrees with this statement, because I know that I spend money on games, and my friends do. For example, me and my friends, well, they've been playing Rocket League for like years now. But for the first time in my entire life, I decided to play Rocket League with my friends around a week ago. About a week ago. And when I did, I immediately fell in love with it. I was playing with my friends. We were having an incredible time. I was seeing them get goals, and I was going crazy. I was like, oh my god, you're so good. We suck, by the way. We're in silver. If you know what that means on Rocket League, you know that we're trash. We are horrible at Rocket League. I am like the worst Rocket League player of all time. When somebody goes up in the air and just hits the ball, like floats up in the air to hit it and uses boost to hit it, I think it's the most impressive thing of all time. I'm not talking about cradling it. No, I'm literally just talking about like if it's like more than 10 feet off the ground and they jump up and hit the ball in the direction that they want it to go. I'm like, oh my god, this guy's a beast. Like, I suck at the game. But I freaking loved it. And guess what I did 2 days after I started playing it? 2 days. 2 days. I probably played the game for a total of 5 hours at that point. 2 days and 5 hours later, I bought the battle pass. Okay? My friends bought Fennec, the car Fennec. Like, yes, they've been playing it for longer than me, but not by that much longer. They were like, when I think when I started playing with them, they were like level 75 or something, which sounds like it's crazy high, but in Rocket League you level up really fast. Like, I've been playing, like I said, I've been playing for a week now with them, and I'm level 110 already. So that game, you level up fast in that game. And so yeah, they weren't playing, like, yeah, they were playing it for longer than me, but not by that much long. And they both also bought the battle pass, and then they both bought Fennec. And guess what I'm probably going to do? Buy Fennec. I want to buy that car. It looks freaking cool, and apparently it's a good one, and I want to start using it. We are buying stuff, okay? Stop saying that, like, older guys, adults aren't buying things anymore. No, Call of Duty, we're just not buying them from you because you make trash that we don't want to buy. If you make something that we do want to buy, we'll freaking buy it. Duh. That's how it works, man. Are you freaking... My friend just bought a $4,000 snowboard. I don't even think he snowboards, dude. I don't think I've ever seen that guy ever go snowboarding, but he bought one. Like, we got money, and we spend it. We're dudes. We spend it on stupid things that we shouldn't have spent it on, and video games are 110% one of those things. So stop thinking that it's just the children that you need to appeal to when it comes to your skins in the game. No, it is not. The children have to ask their mom. I don't gotta ask nobody. I just buy whatever I want to freaking buy. Gosh darn it. Okay, if I see something super cool on a video game that I want to support that video game, I'm buying it. Rainbow Six Siege, I buy things on Rainbow Six Siege all the time because I love Rainbow Six Siege. I freaking buy every single car pack that Forza releases every single time. They're only like $6, but there's like 20 of them. I buy them all the freaking time. I love Forza's car packs. I buy them every single time because I like Forza. Okay, it's worth it for me. I bought every one of your DLCs, every one of your zombies maps. That were, like, you remember back in the day when you had to buy DLCs to buy the zombies, to play the zombies maps. Every one of them I've bought. Every one. Infinite Warfare zombies, World War II zombies, Black Ops 4 zombies, Black Ops 2 zombies, Black Ops 3 zombies, Black Ops 1 zombies, World at War zombies, Advanced Warfare zombies, even Ghost Extinction, dude. I've bought in every single one of your DLCs. Every last one of them. Every last one of them I bought from you, Call of Duty, because I wanted them. You made something worth buying. You're not making stuff worth buying for me anymore. That's the reason why people aren't buying your stuff anymore. It's not because we're getting older and we don't want to spend money. That's not the case. Stop freaking telling yourself that. It's so stupid. We will buy stuff. Just make it worth buying. Yes, it's harder to sell to adults, but it's not impossible if we think it's cool or worth it. Okay? Gosh darn it, man. I'm sick of that. So sick and tired of that. Next thing. This is what I mean, man. I was going to get a little negative. But the next thing that I think that Call of Duty needs to realize, kind of, and this is more not like a thing that needs to change, just something that Call of Duty needs to realize, is that gaming has changed. Everybody kind of knows that, yes, but I think that gone are the days where game companies only have to worry about young people because that's the whole audience. I've kind of mentioned this already earlier, but it is fully accepted nowadays to play video games as an adult in a way to wind down instead of watch TV. Get with the times. Now I'm realizing that this is something that I already mentioned earlier. So this is what I mean by the video was poorly structured. Forget I just said that. We already talked about that earlier. But yeah, just another thing I wanted to bring up about how, like, I feel like Call of Duty is just putting all their efforts into appealing to children and younger people when that's stupid, because there are still plenty of adults that play video games. Plenty of us. And so if you start to try to appeal to us again, maybe you'll get some players back, because that's what Battlefield is doing. And it's happening. So, like, clearly that's what would happen if you did the same thing. Next thing I just wanted to bring up. Imagine, I mentioned this earlier with Gran Turismo, Madden, Elden Ring, or Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, just imagine those games for a second, right? Let's talk about them all firsthand. Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo, for those who don't know, is a very serious simulation racing game for the PlayStation. I love it. I love that game so much. I've played it. I play every single Gran Turismo release, and I hate to toot my own horn here, but I'm freaking good at Gran Turismo, man. I only play on a controller. All right, I'm really good at racing games because I've been playing racing games since before I've been playing first-person shooter games, as a matter of fact. I love cars, as you guys know, and I've been playing them forever. I would not play Gran Turismo if they had anime cars in their game. If they have Nicki Minaj characters in their game when you win a race, she comes up to you and gives you a big ol' hug or something. I wouldn't do that. I would not play Gran Turismo anymore because that's not cool. That is not racing. Okay? Just like how Call of Duty is a war game and should be focused on war. It's the same thing with Gran Turismo. Madden, same thing. Imagine if you could buy, and other players, actually, more importantly, could buy, like, the entire cast of freaking, I don't know, The Amazing World of Gumball, and use those guys as their players in a Madden game, and you have to go up against them. Do you know how many freaking players Madden would lose if it was like you're playing as the Jags and you're going up against the Chiefs, which actually just happened tonight, by the way. Chiefs lost, actually, which was surprising, by the way. That was weird. But anyway, imagine if that was happening, and you're like loading into the online game to play against this player, and you're just like sitting on your phone, whatever, waiting for it to load up, and then you look up, and the dude is playing as Travis Kelce, but it's not actually Travis Kelce, it's Gumball. And then freaking Patrick Mahomes is the little orange dude from Amazing World of Gumball. And then all the other players are other players, people in the Amazing World of Gumball. Imagine, dude, everybody would leave Madden. And now imagine the same thing with Elden Ring. You have an Elden Ring outfit where it's like, okay, I just got new armor. What is this armor set? You put it on and it's freaking Mia Khalifa armor. Like, what? No, nobody would play that. Nobody would be like, that's cool. Everybody would be like, what is going on? Red Dead Redemption 2. Imagine if Arthur Morgan goes up to talk to Hosea, and Hosea's a freaking a stormtrooper from Star Wars. It's like, it's just stupid. It's stupid. It kills the realism of your game, absolutely. And nobody would buy those anymore. Obviously, they know their identity. Those games know their identity, and so they stay in their identity, and it works. If you don't know your identity, and you're trying to change your identity, and it is not working, clearly, stop it, man. Okay, we only have 2 more points. I promise we only got 2 more points. We're already at an hour and 2 minutes, so I'm going to try and go through these ones pretty fast. But the next thing that I think needs to happen from here is that nostalgia for Black Ops or Modern Warfare titles at this point has been completely worn out. It is time for something truly new. Call of Duty needs to come out with a new title. Vanguard was clearly not it, but don't let that discourage you, Call of Duty. Please, for the love of God, do not let that discourage you. Try that again. Not Vanguard again. No, please don't try that again. I'm just saying, try a new title again. Please. For the love of God, please try a new title again. Nobody cares anymore about Black Ops or Modern Warfare. Those titles have lost their meaning. When you think of the Modern Warfare now, you don't think of Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, the OGs. You think of Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, the new ones, which leave a bad taste in your mouth. And the same thing with Black Ops. When you think of Black Ops now, you don't think of Black Ops 1 and 2 anymore. You think of Black Ops Cold War and Black Ops 6, and now Black Ops 7, which, again, are leaving a bad taste in our mouths. The nostalgia's run out. Nobody's caring anymore when you're like, hey, a new Black Ops game is coming out. As a matter of fact, my casual friend, name is Quinn, dude doesn't play any, that guy has never prestiged into Call of Duty in his entire life, but his most favorite Call of Duty of all time is Black Ops 1. When I told him the other day that they're coming out with another Black Ops game, he just goes, oh my god, do they ever stop? And I was like, no, they don't. You're right, Quinn. They never stop. They're on Black Ops freaking 7. Stop with that. Okay, come out with a new title, or do one of your old titles they've never done the second time. Ghosts 2. Please, for the love of God, end that cliffhanger. Advanced Warfare 2. That'd be freaking sick. Are you kidding me? Like, you can do another one of your old World at War 2. Why did you never do that? Like, what is going on? You can change it up, for the love of God. Please, as a matter of fact, change it up. Please. For the next, I think that would be a big help. And finally, this last little thing that I think needs to happen in order to help Call of Duty, and one of my complaints, is something that I see all the time, and PC players are, listen, I like you guys, and don't get me wrong, but some of you guys are freaking morons, man. I'm not gonna lie. PC players, I don't think they even know what they want, because PC players hate aim assist for controller. They hate it, and you can see it all the time. They always complain about aim assist being too strong for controller, and they think it's like aimbot. Controller players who play on controller like myself know that it's not. We play, and it's definitely not that strong. Like, we're not getting nukes against PC players. As a matter of fact, I get slammed against PC players quite often because they can just flick onto me. But either way, PC players don't like aim assist for controller. And controller players don't like PC players because of cheats. Maybe, and I know I'm going to be the bad guy here, and I know nobody wants to say it, so I'll say it, but maybe it's time to rethink the whole PC and console crossplay thing. Okay? Maybe it just is. Maybe it just, you tried it and it didn't work out. I know everybody wants to play with their friends or whatever it may be, and I'm sorry to be that guy, but clearly this is causing problems. Okay? And there's no real solution, because, again, PC players, I know you think that aim assist is strong and that it's too strong. but it's not. You have an advantage of flicking and pointing at your enemies. Like, literally all you have to do is point your finger at where you want to shoot, and that's how you play a game. If you got rid of aim assist, look at Rainbow Six Siege, for example. Rainbow Six Siege, the best player of all time in that game, in my personal opinion, someone who's been playing since the launch of Rainbow Six Siege, and I'm like an emerald player in Rainbow, I think the best player of all time is easily Stompin. Stompin is an absolute freaking demon. He is disgusting. For those who don't know, he rose to popularity through Jinxie. Well, Jinxie played on Xbox, so did Stompin at the time, and he was incredible. He beat every single other Xbox player, and it was a no-brainer that he was the best player on controller. But at the time, it was known that, because again, Rainbow Six Siege, it's obvious, they don't have aim assist in that game. So in Rainbow Six Siege, since they don't have aim assist, PC just destroys console no matter what. You could be the best player in the world with insane game sense, insane map knowledge, insane positioning, but a slightly worse player than you will absolutely destroy you if they're playing on a PC, because aim assist is deleted across the board. And when you don't have any aim assist, PC just is clearly the better option, because you can just flick and point at your enemies, right? Stompin decided he wanted to go pro. He switched to PC to learn the PC thing, and now he is tier 2 in Rainbow Six Siege Pro Leagues, and he is one of the best players in tier. Actually, I think he is quite literally the best player in tier 2 Pro League. So he will be moved up to tier 1. He's incredible. He's absolutely insane. But at the time when he was playing on controller, if he tried trying out for Pro Leagues, he would have been destroyed immediately. He would have stood no chance against those guys, because he wasn't on PC, because he didn't have a PC. Aim assist is not that strong as PC players think it is, and we do need it. But PC players don't see that. And just like the argument that console players make, where it's like, oh, all PC players are cheating, and I don't like going against cheaters. Again, PC players are sitting there like, well, I'm not cheating, and I just want to be able to play with my friends and stuff like that. But console players don't see that. It's the same thing, and it's happening across the board, and it's not making anyone happy, besides the people that use it to play with their friends on PC or Xbox or PlayStation, whatever it may be, crossplay, right? They use it, and it makes them happy. And obviously it sucks to be the guy to say like, oh, stop letting people play with their friends. I don't want that to happen, obviously. But if you're not going to address the cheater problem, and if you're not going to address the aim assist problem, then you're just going to keep continuing to make both sides of the pie there mad. Like, console players don't like playing against PC. PC players don't like playing against console. And if you don't change anything about that, it's going to stay that way. And I think if you're not going to change anything about it, the thing you need to change is the fact that it exists in the first place, and get rid of PC and PC console crossplay. I'm sorry to be the guy to say it. But either way, yeah, man. That's it, man. That's all the points I gotta make. Now, obviously, I kind of want to end this video by, again, reiterating that at the end of the day, I'm still going to try Black Ops 7 for sure. I love camo grinding in these games, and I probably will camo grind in Black Ops 7 a little bit. Maybe not actually all the way and, like, get the dark matter camo, whatever it ends up being. They might call it, like, the prolapsing sphincter camo this year. I don't know what they're going to call it, but either way, I'll probably try getting a little bit of the way there. But if I really don't like the game, I'll probably give up on it. I'm not like Jev, where it's like, even if the game is just dog water and I'm really not enjoying myself, I force myself to get the freaking mastery camos. I only do it if I'm really having a good time. And so I don't know. We'll see how it goes, obviously. But I'll definitely give Black Ops 7 a try. And again, I also want to reiterate that we are currently in the COD cycle. A lot of players like to bring up the COD cycle when everybody's complaining right now. And they're right. They are absolutely right. This happens to Call of Duty quite a bit, where a new Call of Duty will come out, and a lot of freaking players will start praising it or hating it. It goes one of two ways. They either, like Black Ops 6, actually, as a matter of fact, when that game was coming out, everyone was talking about it. Everybody thought it was going to be great, the next best thing for Call of Duty, and everybody was super excited to play Black Ops 6. And then it turned out to be just absolute dog water. But either way, the opposite of that is happening right now for Black Ops 7. Everyone is hating Black Ops 7. This has happened multiple times in the past. And the Call of Duty cycle works like this. Call of Duty game gets revealed to the world. People are usually pretty much like, that doesn't look that fun. I don't look like I'm really enjoying it. And then as the actual release date gets closer and closer, and you start to see gameplays from betas, and YouTubers start to talk about like things that are going to be in the game, players start to kind of get a little bit of excited and start to be kind of like, okay, all right, you know what, I'll give this a try, actually, this is starting to look good. And then once it gets really close, and you're like, I'm talking like a couple days away from release, kind of like right now with Battlefield 6, like we're literally like 4 days away. At the time that this video goes live, though, we'll probably be like 2 days away from Black Ops 6's or Battlefield 6's release. When that happens, and they get super close to just releasing the game in general, then that's when the players start to be like, oh my god, this is going to be so much fun, I cannot wait for Black Ops 7, man, I'm so excited. And then the game comes out, and at first, everybody kind of likes it and has a little bit of fun, right? And everybody's kind of like, whoa, this is great, I'm having a blast on Black Ops 7, it's so much different from the other Call of Duties, this is great, blah, blah, blah. And then like a month or two goes by, usually around Christmas time or the New Year's, and players start to be like, this game kind of sucks. I'm really not enjoying this right now. I am having no fun whatsoever on this game. And then a couple more months go by and they start to be like, that was the worst Call of Duty of all time. But that game sucked. I don't think that game was good in the slightest bit. And then they release the next Call of Duty and everybody's kind of like, maybe that other Call of Duty wasn't so bad. maybe that COD wasn't the worst thing of all time because this looks like trash. And it all just keeps repeating itself. For those who are into cars, it's the same thing as the BMW cycle. In my opinion, the BMW cycle works like this. A new BMW gets revealed to the world. Everybody goes, that looks ugly. I don't want it. I don't like that car at all. It looks stupid. Blah, blah, blah. Get it out of my face. Ew, yucky, yucky, yucky. I don't like it. Blah, blah, blah. Then a new BMW gets released to the world, and people start buying them and driving them around more, and people online start being like, you know what? I never hated that BMW, actually. I think that BMW is a little bit overhated. Yeah, I don't know why everybody's hating on it. I never hated on it, even though the guy 110%, by the way, did hate on it. And then the BMW starts to get modified, and people start, and it's like a couple years now, and people have started to make them look better and started to make them, you know, roughen out the edges and make them look aggressive and cool, and then everybody's kind of like accepting of it and like, yeah, that's one of the coolest BMWs ever, man, that's a great car. And then a new BMW gets revealed and just repeats itself. It's the same thing. It happens in BMW. It happens in Call of Duty all the time. It happens with pretty much everything, man. Especially things that have like yearly releases, like iPhones, for example. iPhones, dude. Whenever a new iPhone comes out, everybody's like, that's like the exact same iPhone as before, just with a bigger screen. It's stupid. Why would I spend my money on it? And then people are like, start to realize, oh, wait a minute, there's actually kind of a difference, and so they buy them. It happens with so much freaking stuff. It happens all the time. It just does, man. But. And that's kind of what we're going through now with Black Ops 7, but I don't know, man. This one just feels different. It doesn't feel like players are in a like, at this point, I feel like it's usually when the players start to turn around and be like, okay, I'm actually kind of excited for this. This is looking actually like it's actually going to be kind of fun. And the game starts to make its headlines, but no. Players are still complaining. Players are in the beta complaining. Players are in the beta being like, yeah, you added no SBMM, but I still want to play Battlefield 6. I'm still more excited about Battlefield 6. And so I don't know. I think it's a little bit different this year, and I hope it is. I really do. Because I just want COD to succeed. That's it. That's all there is to it. I'm just like everybody else, man. I like Call of Duty, and I will still play Black Ops 7. As a matter of fact, Black Ops 6 I still play every once in a while. Even though I say it's one of the worst CODs of all time, and I agree, I stand on that, I still play it sometimes. Because at the end of the day, Call of Duty's formula is a fun formula, and there's no game that can completely replicate Call of Duty's formula. Even Battlefield, even Rainbow Six Siege, they can't replicate it. And so I still enjoy these games, and I will still absolutely give Black Ops 7 a try, but I just want it to actually succeed and actually flourish into its new flower. I guess I don't know what I'm saying anymore, man. I am at an hour and 15 minutes into this video. My voice is fried. I literally have like vocal fry going on right now. I really want to apologize for that. I sound probably like an idiot, but I'm going to end the video now here. I wanted to bring up something though really quick. This is obviously the first time in a very, very long time where I've made a video, well actually the first time ever on this channel really, where I've made a video where I just talk about like what's going on in Call of Duty like other YouTubers do. And obviously, because of my ADHD and because I like to ramble all the time, this is a lot longer than people like usually have videos be when they're just yapping to the camera. But that's because this one I wanted to talk about everything that's going on, whereas some players are like they'll like chop it up into like individual problems. Like one guy will, like one video he'll talk about like SBMM, the next video he'll talk about like what's going on with the Black Ops 7 and Battlefield 6, blah blah blah. I want to talk about everything that's going on with Call of Duty right now in one big video, and so that's the reason why it's so freaking long. And so I hope it's okay. But the reason why I even bring this up is because in the future I want to make this channel more just laid back sometimes, man. And when I'm done with the zombies map videos, which by the way, for those who don't know, we're playing through every single zombies map right now. When I get through with that and I play every single zombies map, I want to start uploading on the off days where the zombies map videos would usually be videos very similar to what Jev does, if that makes any sense. Because I love watching Jev's videos, love just like staying up to date on like his life and just what he's doing, while also watching him play whatever new video game it is that he's enjoying, even if it's a video game that I don't enjoy. Like, dude, I don't like fighting games at all. I don't like Mortal Kombat, I don't like Tekken, I don't like Street Fighter. I don't like any fighting game in the slightest bit. Like not at all. But I still watch his fighting videos because I just like to talk, like hear Jev talk about what he's talking about, you know? And I kind of want to start doing that more. So if in the future, like for example, I am, as a Call of Duty YouTuber, I know it's weird to say, but I am so excited for Forza Horizon 6. And I'm more excited for Forza Horizon 6 than I am for the Battlefield 6, Black Ops 7, pretty much any game besides probably GTA 6 that's coming out anytime soon. I'm so excited for it and I love it. So like in the future when that game comes out, would you guys mind if I just like make videos on that game, and just like talk? It would never take the limelight from Call of Duty ranking videos. I'll always make Call of Duty ranking videos as like my main thing on this channel. But I don't know, do you pretty much what I'm trying to say is, do you like videos like this where I just talk about what's going on and talk about what's drama or whatever it may be in the gaming space, or my opinions on certain gaming topics or whatever it may be? Because if you do, I want to make more of these in the future, and I'd greatly appreciate it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. I'm going to end the video now because, first of all, I'm freaking tired. I need to go drink. And second of all, it's literally an hour and 15 minutes, and I'm sure you guys are bored of listening to me talk now. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you actually stayed all the way to the end here, comment the word tank in the comment section. Comment tank down below, and if you did, I will literally come to your house and give you a big old smooch on the forehead, man. Like, thank you so much. I cannot thank you enough for doing that. If you actually stayed all the way through here, this is rambling. In the future, I want to hire like an editor and like make these, if I do decide to do these rambling videos, make them actually like enjoyable and not repetitive and things like that. And just like, I just freaking ramble. Like right now I'm trying to end the video and I can't even end the video because I feel like I'm forgetting to say things, and it drives me nuts. So I just ramble all the time, and I can't do anything about it. I really can't, and I try my best to keep myself to a minimum when it comes to the rambling, but it happens. And the video that I wanted this video to just be like 30 to 40 minutes, but I knew, even in the intro, I told you guys it's probably going to be an hour, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to maintain myself and just keep it down to a 30-minute long video. I knew I was just going to start yapping away at things that don't matter and just go off. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.